In a previous video, I introduced you to the WireBinder, a tool that lets you selectively use individual wires from a sketch. I also promised you a deep dive into how it worked, so let's get to it. The best way to show you is to go through the process manually on the Python console. The console is a good way to get a feel for the API and to test out ideas before committing to code. I used it myself before creating the WireBinder. I'll start with a sketch here in the part workbench already made. It's just a centered rectangle and a circle. I've used the data pane to raise the sketch up to 51 millimeters on the z-axis. So everything will be a little clearer, I'm going to turn on the axis cross by going to View, Toggle Axis Cross. To have a better look at the sketch, right-click on the sketch and select Send to Python Console. That sets the variable obj to the sketch itself and shp to the shape owned by the sketch. I showed you before the wires inside the shape. Now I'm going to grab one of them. W equals shp.wires sub 0. It's useful to know here that when you access the array of wires in a shape, that array is generated by the object each time you look at it, and the wire objects it contains are copies. To prove that, I'll just ask the console if W is equal to shp.wires sub 0, and we get false. So W has all of the properties of wire 0 in the sketch, but we can manipulate it freely without screwing anything up. It also means we don't get messed up when the sketch updates its shape. I can put that wire on the screen by doing part.show and passing W as the parameter. This gives us a new shape in the document. Shape is about the simplest feature available in FreeCAD. It's not at all parametric. It never updates. It makes no references to other objects. It simply holds and displays the shape that we added to it. I also showed you before the case where in a WireBinder the wire is set to -1 and it displays all of them. This is done by combining all of the wires in the sketch into a compound shape object. So do C equals part.makeCompound and pass it the entire list of wires from sketch.shape. To make things easier, I'm going to assign the variable sh2 to app_active_document_shape. I'm going to be manipulating that a bit, and sh2 is a lot quicker to type. Now I'll do sh2.shape equals C. That seems right, but we need to look closer. The wires are where they should be, but in the data pane, shape's position is flat on the XY plane. The wires clearly are not. If I try to move it using transform, it shows the wire's origin to be the global origin, making it hard to do a proper rotation. The problem is local versus global space. All shapes have a placement. By shape I mean geometric shape, not the feature called shape. The placement moves the local space the shape lives in to somewhere in the global space we see. That includes rotations as well as translations. The placement shown in the data pane is the placement of the top-level shape assigned to the features.shape attribute. It turns out that behind the curtain, when we access the list of wires, those copies of the wires each get a copy of the sketch's placement. But when I call part.makeCompound, the compound object is created with the identity placement. X, Y, and Z are 0, angle equals 0. So each wire's local space is mapped to Z equals 51 in the compound's local space. In turn, the compound space is identical to the global space because of the identity placement. And so when we try to transform the compound, the apparent origin is the origin in the global space. That's not what we would call ideal. For the next step, I've created a simple test macro. Macros are a great way to test and debug something before putting it in a tool. mostly because you have to restart FreeCAD to update when you edit the code in a tool if it's in a module. But with a macro, you can just change the code and test right away. The macro expects to be run with the sketch selected. It grabs the list of wires just like I did on the console, but it also creates a new identity placement object, p=app.placement. It goes through the list of wires, replacing their placement with the identity placement. This doesn't affect the sketch at all because the wires were magically copied behind the curtain. So now when it calls part.makeCompound, the wires are located on the origin in the compound's local space. Finally, the macro calls part.show both to let us see what happened and as a way of returning the shape to the document so we can examine it in the console. So I select the sketch, run the macro, and there's the compound containing the copies of the wires sitting flat on the XY plane. I can set the compound's placement equal to the sketch's placement, and everything moves into place. When I try to transform the shape, the origin of the transformation is sensibly located at the local origin of the compound. Just to complete the macro, I'll uncomment the line that copies the sketch's placement into the compound. Now it just works. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video or found it useful, please like, subscribe, and share. If there's anything you'd like to see covered here, please let me know in the comments below.